Hello, today we are going to see on draw frame how a package is formed, and we are also going to see some numerical on can capacity. So what is the way a package is formed, or rather the can that is there, which is the package on a draw frame, how it is filled. As the coiler plate that we saw in the last lecture, as it rotates, the sliver is delivered into the can in the form of coils. The coils may be laid in a overcoiling or undercoiling pattern. There are two kinds of pattern in which any sliver that can be laid into a can. So these are the two, overcoiling and undercoiling. You can see the difference. In this, the single coil is the diameter is large enough that the center of the can, the axis of the can is within the coil, whereas here the axis of the can and the diameter of a single coil, it does not cover the axis. So these are the two types of coiling patterns that are there. And when you actually look at the can, this is the image. You can see here this is over coiling and this is under coiling. So over coiling structure, you can see by the look of it itself that it is quite stable as compared to the under coiling. And this kind of coiling is generally used for small to medium sized cans which are up to 24 inches, whereas the undercoiling is used for large can diameters. So now we come to the topic how more detail about how a can is made, or how what is the construction, and how the sliver is withdrawn. This is a image of a can. You can see there is a plate here. This plate would be supported by a spring here below this, and the spring, the function is extremely important. It is required. We shall see shortly why. Inside the can there is a spring loaded plate, this plate, on which the sliver is laid. The sliver is laid onto this plate, and as it is getting filled, this plate will start moving downwards because of the weight of the sliver, and this plate will reach somewhere near the bottom. The plate diameter is slightly lesser. Now as you can see here also, it is slightly lesser than the diameter of the can. It is about 15 to 20 mm smaller than the diameter of this can. And this is done so that you can avoid friction between the sliver coils that you are going to lay on this and the inner wall of the can. So this much care needs to be taken because the sliver, as we know, that it is quite delicate in nature, and no amount kind of friction should be there. So these are the different types of cans. One can here that you can see is a rectangular kind. This kind of a can also is available, and it saves floor space in the creel. You can see here the circular cans, when you place them side by side, the top view, you can see that there is a lot of void space in between, whereas in the top view where rectangular cans you can stack more, the void space is reduced. So rectangular cans are also available. Let us see how this can plate helps us. You can see here, this is the image which shows the withdrawal of the sliver from the can. Once the can is filled and it goes on to the next machine, during withdrawal, what is the situation like? So when the can is say this much full, you can see that the can plate has risen. As soon as the sliver is being withdrawn, the spring will push this can plate upwards, and this is the first case where there is enough sliver. Then in the second case, you can see here the sliver quantity has reduced, but this plate has moved up further. What you can observe is the distance between the lifting roller during withdrawal. Between this and this, there is no difference, much difference. They are being withdrawn almost from the same height or the same level from the top of the coils. And at the end, once the sliver is emptied, this can plate will reach the top rim like this, um, which is seen here in this image. As the sliver is withdrawn, the pressure on the plate is reduced and the spring at the bottom expands. The can plate along with the sliver column moves upwards, and its top layer stays at the same distance from the lifter roller during withdrawal. This is what we've seen when you compare these two cases. Now this is done to avoid tension due to withdrawal on the slivers and sliver breakage. Um, since if this same sliver were to come, if this can plate was not there, this sliver would be coming from somewhere here, because this would be somewhere here, and the distance between the lifter and the top layer of the coils would be different in different situations. For this, if this can plate was not there, the sliver would be coming from somewhere from the bottom, and there would be a tension difference between the first case and the second case. So this is the reason why this can plate is very, very important. The system avoids sliver breakage due to its own weight. So let us look what kind of can capacity we are looking at. The cans can accommodate around 5,000 meters of sliver, and it may weigh somewhere between 15 to 25 kgs. The can plate is normally supported by 3 spiral springs. When the can is empty, the can plate is close to the top rim of the can. We have just seen that. Cans, since they are huge in capacity and they weigh a lot, for easy transport there are casters at the bottom to allow for easy transport. Here are some figures which give you estimate about what can be the can capacity in kgs for different diameters of the can and can heights. So maybe you can just refer to this. Now we come to the numerical on can filling time. So can filling time in hours would be equal to can capacity in kgs divided by the production per head in kgs per hour. That means if you need to fill a particular can, how much time will it take to fill this can for the draw frame. So what you need is, you need the can capacity, how much the can can take, and at what rate the draw frame is going to deliver the sliver in kgs per hour. So you'll come to know how much time this will take once you divide one figure by the other. This would be in hours, of course, because it is in kgs per hour. But if you want the same figure in minutes, you'll have to just multiply this filling time in hours by 60. So as an example, for a can capacity of 22 kgs and a draw frame production of 80 kgs per hour, using the formula, you get can filling time in minutes, which is 22 divided by 80 multiplied by 60, which is 16.5 minutes. So that means for a 22 kg capacity can, it only takes around 16 minutes to fill up one can. So you can imagine the kind of speeds that we are talking about. To come to the next topic, we would like to also know what is the length of sliver in a can. So in that case, we should know the empty can weight, which is W kgs, and the full can weight, suppose it is X. So the weight of the sliver would be W minus X. So with this figure, we also will need the sliver linear density. Suppose it is S ktex. Then this S ktex, what it means is, if S kgs is the weight of 1000 meters of sliver. So you can write this as, therefore the length of W minus X kg sliver in meters would be so much. W minus X upon S into 100 into 1000. So what we have done here is it's a basic mathematical function where we have just cross multiplied this W minus X. If S is the weight of 1000 meters of sliver, what is the length of this much? So when you write kgs below kgs, and what you get is W minus X multiplied by 1000 divided by X. It's a simple case of cross multiplication. So we get this formula. So taking an example, for a 22 kg sliver and a 5.5 ktex linear density, using this formula, substituting here, you get 22, which is actually you have not been given empty can weight etc. over here. You have been directly given sliver weight. So you can take 22 divided by 5.5 into 1000, which comes to be 4000 meters of sliver. So you can expect around 4000 meters of sliver in any given can. So thank you. This is it for today.